Our top story this hour, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says some regional states are completely wrong, thinking they can overthrow a government by supporting terrorists. Rouhani also said that the Muslim enemies are seeking to create division among Islamic nations. He added Muslims are in dire need of dialogue and understanding. Rouhani also referred to the recent nuclear deal between Iran and the P5+1 group, saying the deal showed the world Iran has nothing to hide about its nuclear activities. The Iranian president made the statement at the 27th Islamic Unity Conference in Tehran. The two-day event has brought together Shia and Sunni Muslim intellectuals from around the globe. Unity among Muslim nations and the problems facing the Muslim world are among the issues to be discussed in the conference. Pedram Khodadadi is our correspondent with us now live from the venue of the conference. Pedram, over to you. Tell us about this Unity Conference, what has been discussed up until now and what are the plans from this stage on?
What is this conference? This conference is basically focusing on the role the Quran can play, the Holy Book of Islam, in uniting Muslims all together over one thing. So the main thing that all Muslims agree upon is the Holy Book of Islam, the Quran. And in this conference over here, we're having over 300 religious scholars, religious leaders, clerics that have come from over 50 countries. We have people from London, from Thailand, we can say from Malaysia, from Australia, from Canada, even from the States, from the United States. We're having researchers that have come to this event, both Sunni and Shia, to try to come to some kind of agreement upon how they can work on using Islam as a guide towards getting rid of extremism.
Right, in Pedram, we did hear Mr. Rouhani speak in the conference, and he said, and I'm quoting here, some regional states are completely wrong in thinking that they can overthrow a government by supporting terrorists. How have regional issues been reflected in this conference, and how are they being looked at?
One of the main regional issues that we're working on right now that we're facing in the Islamic world is the war in Syria and the war with the extremists and the takfiris. That was the main point of Mr. Rouhani's speech. He was talking about how Syria, how the recent ongoing events, how the war in Syria is it's a war between Muslims and Muslims. It's about extremists that are attacking other Muslims in that country. So they're trying to, the basics talk over here is how to get rid of extremists and how Muslims can unite and come to some kind of peace together.
And just before we let you go, Pedram, how long is this conference expected to continue? When will it end?
This conference is going to be on for 3 days, and it's started today with the speech by Iran's President Hassan Rouhani. It's going to come to an end by the speech by the chairman of Iran's Expediency Council, Ali Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani. And over here I'm joined with Islamic researcher and scholar from the UK, Dr. Abdul Hakim. He's going to tell us about the role of how these conferences can help in getting rid of extremism. Thank you for your time.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. These conferences can help to elaborate on the Islamic standpoint, on the Quranic standpoint, as how they should be inspired by the Quranic teaching and what kind of steps that should be taken in order to achieve unity. With regards to extremism, we have found that we have a clear and explicit Quranic verse when it says وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. It means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty Allah, has put Muslims in the moderation, and they have to follow the moderate path. Without following this moderate, they would fall either to be extremists or to go on the other axis, and both sides are disgusting and rejected according to the Quranic teaching. As such, we have to follow the moderation path. We have to accept that without being united, we won't be victorious. And only by following the Quranic teaching, the moral codes of disagreement, if we were to disagree, which is sometimes is a natural phenomenon of a living and creative Muslim societies. If they were to disagree, they have to accept and follow the moral codes and the perfect way as how to remain united despite their intellectual disagreement. Only by following the Quranic teachings, we would be able to achieve our goals and to maintain the Islamic message alive, and to keep what is now has been known amongst the strategic studies, the Arabic Spring, or what we call it, the Islamic Awakening, regardless what we are going to name it. Only by following the Quranic teaching we will be victorious. Otherwise, Muslims would fail, and they have to learn from Quran when it states explicitly وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. As if you were to be not united, you won't achieve what is the Quranic goal, and you will be definitely defeated.
Thank you. This conference will be held for the next 3 days. This is the 27th Islamic Unity Conference, and we're having scholars from over 50 countries taking part.
Pedram, thank you very much. Our correspondent Pedram Khodadadi with us there live from the venue of the conference taking place in Tehran, speaking there with Mr. Ali Al-Hakim, Islamic scholar and researcher.